Previously, I talked about my early years on East Young Street. I lived on East Young Street until I was about 7 years old. When I turned seven, my mom married my stepdad, and we moved into a newer home in a new neighborhood, in a neighborhood that was predominantly white. I went to a new school. I didn't have any cousins or my dad or my grandparents around to watch to make sure that I was home. So it was for the first time I became a latchkey kid, and I probably made some decisions, not took, but I probably made some decisions that I would not have made had I been more closely watched. In this new neighborhood and at my new school, there were very few African American families who owned their homes. In my neighborhood, there were actually about 3 or 4 families that actually lived in homes. Maybe 5 or 6 blocks from us, there was a low income apartment complex that the bulk of the African American students lived in that complex. And so we went to the same neighborhood school. And I had to adapt to a new reality, a new community, I had to build new relationships, and I had to figure out what was appropriate in those relationships, and what wasn't appropriate. And I think maybe it made it easier for me to make some decisions. Now, I don't want to give you the impression that I was a follower, because I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader. So I'm not saying that I was led into making bad decisions. I'm saying that it became easier for me to make different decisions than I would have made under the watchful eye of my closely knit family. So, because I've always been a leader, once I made those decisions, though, I also knew that I had to do what was necessary. I knew that I wanted my young family to have a certain standard of living, because I understood that there were differences. And so once I became an adult, I made it my mission to do what I needed to do in order to ensure that my family had a secure and stable environment in which to live, work, and play.